Hello, my name is Sal from PatientsCann and welcome to our accessible travel guide. A question we often get asked at PatientsCann is, can I travel with my prescribed medical cannabis? And what are my rights as a patient? Can I use the medication at the station or on the train? Or do I need to get off the train? And lots of other questions too. So in this video, we will be going over your rights when using the railway as a medical cannabis patient. Medical cannabis patients have a number of rights when using the railway network. The Office of Rail and Road oversees this in what is called the Accessible Travel Policy. Train and station operators are required by their operating licences to establish and comply with an accessible travel policy which must be approved by the Office of Rail and Road. So there's a number of relevant legislations with regards to medical cannabis patients and disabled people generally when travelling on the railway. The Railways Act 1993 contains the Office of Road and Rail's Section 4 statutory duties, which must be taken into account. And that includes a duty to have specific regard to the interests of persons who are disabled when undertaking its general duty to promote the interests of users of railway services. So the Transport Act 2000 sets out a requirement in broad terms: if a person who provides railway carriage services instead provides substitute road services, those services, where as far as reasonably practicable, allow disabled passengers to undertake their journey safely and in reasonable comfort. So that means, for example, if there's a rail replacement service, then these must also be accessible to disabled passengers. Quality Act 2010, or the Disability Discrimination Act 1995 in Northern Ireland, identifies the disability as a protected characteristic. It makes it unlawful for service providers or public authority to discriminate against a service user on the basis of their disability. Service providers have a legal obligation not to discriminate on the basis of a protected characteristic. This includes by refusing to provide them with a service, by terminating a service provided to them, by not providing them with the service in the manner or on the terms which are usually offered to the public, or subjecting them to any other detriment concerning the service provided. So in respect of people with disabilities, there is an additional duty on service providers to make a reasonable adjustment. This applies where provision, criterion or practice puts a person with a disability at a substantial disadvantage compared to a person who is not disabled. Now there's lots of other laws and regulations which we could go into in detail, but we won't in this video. But it's important to remember that you do have rights as a medical cannabis patient with your prescription. So how do rail providers support disabled people when using the railway and make sure that their rights are upheld as a disabled person? Well, railway providers have what's called passenger assist, and this allows you to request an assistance booking in advance. Any train company can organise assistance for your entire journey, even if you're travelling on multiple services. Passenger assist includes offering a helping hand to navigate the station, help getting on or off the train, meeting you from your train and taking you to your next train or the exit, arranging a ramp on or off your train, carrying your bags, getting an assistance dog underseat card if required, and most importantly, assistance relating to a non-visible impairment. Some people may be able to wait until the end of the journey to use their medication or jump off the train, but others may not be in a position to do that without causing a detriment to their health or without suffering from the symptoms of their conditions. So I think it's very important to remember that, if they're passengers travelling on the last journey or they'll arrive late at their destination if they get off the train, it might not be appropriate for them to do this. Or if there's a passenger in a wheelchair, they would have to let the guard on the train know that they need to get off the train to use their medication. And that may not be possible if the guard is on the other side of the train. So in that scenario, what does the patient do? Do they suffer, or do they just use their medication as legally prescribed to them? That said, if you do prefer to get off the train to use your medication, it still may be worth putting in an assistance request. For example, if you need to break an advance ticket journey, then this is something that railway providers can consider. There's a number of ways you can request passenger assistance. So you can use the Passenger Assist app and as well as the website, and that will allow you to make an assistance request. So once you've signed up and created an account on the Passenger Assistance website, You can choose your start and your destination, choose your journey, and then you can enter any assistance requests that you require for your journey. Now, generally, I will put that I need to use my medication, often because people are just not aware that it is a legal medication and that it can be legally used. I find it is best to get this assistance in advance and make sure that people are aware, such as the guard and any other staff on the railway network. And once you've submitted your assistance request, you'll receive a confirmation email once your request has been checked and confirmed by the rail provider. So you can do that via the app or the website, or alternatively you can either contact Passenger Assist directly by phone, or you can contact the rail provider using their Passenger Assist contact number. And this service is available for you 24/7. Whenever you need it, you can put in a passenger assistance request. Although it is generally advised that you put a request with at least 2 hours notice, that way that gives sufficient time for information to be shared with the relevant people. But of course, there may be times when either you don't feel comfortable putting in an assistance request, or you just simply don't have time. That's why there's also a turn up and go policy, where you can turn up without booking assistance in advance, and you can either make yourself known to a member of staff or use a help point when you arrive at the station. Incidentally, I have a train journey coming up. I need to travel back from the Disability Festival in the Park in London, and I'll be travelling back by train. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the rail provider. I'm travelling with South Western Railway. I'm going to call South Western Railway and see. So as you can see here on their website, their assisted travel team number is listed, and as I say, it's a service that's available 24/7, so whenever you need it you can put in an assistance request.
Thank you for calling South Western Railway Assisted Travel. Please note, this number is for assisted travel only. The team answering cannot fulfill other requests. Thank you for calling. Your call... Good evening, welcome to South Western Railway. You're through to Beth. How can I help?
Oh, good evening. I'm just calling to put in a passenger assistance request for an upcoming journey, please.
Okay, no problem. Have you booked assistance before?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Let me just pop onto the system and we'll get that sorted for you.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, could I take your first name and your last name firstly, please?
Yep, so my first name is Salim.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so where are you travelling from?
I'm travelling from London Waterloo.
Okay, and where are you travelling to?
I'm travelling to Axminster.
And what date are you travelling?
I'm travelling on the 17th of July.
Okay, and what time are you looking to leave Waterloo, roughly?
20 past 8.
20 past 8, okay. And then is this a one-way or a return journey that you're booking assistance for?
It's one way. I should probably clarify that's 20 past 8 in the evening.
In the evening. It's a good job you did, because there's a 20 past 8 in the morning. Okay, and what assistance would you require for this specific journey?
So I use a heated nebulizer for the use of a cannabis-based prescribed medicine.
Okay. So would you need sort of, is it sort of a portable, or is it sort of a, I'm not quite sure of the size of these sort of things.
Yeah,
so would it just be helping hand on and off, or?
It's a portable device. It's more just so the train guard, I suppose, and station staff are aware, because it's not a very common medication. If they see me using cannabis, for example, it might raise some questions, so
Okay.
I prefer to just put the assistance request in advance.
Okay, not a problem, but you don't require any assistance actually getting on and off of the trains at all, do you?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, no problem. So what I will do then is I will pop the assistance as other, and then I'll just pop that note in there just to say that that's what you're advising of.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you.
If that's what you instead rather, I'll pop that in there for you. When you arrive at Waterloo, if you just let the staff know that you've got the assistance, just so they're aware you're travelling at the point. Otherwise, they might cancel it if they think you've not turned up,
Okay.
and then the guard wouldn't be able to see it properly. So if you just let them know it's you and that you're travelling on this one, and you've made with the medical equipment, then they'll be able to make sure they're aware, so that the guard stays aware, okay?
Okay, that's brilliant, and it might be helpful as well in case I need to use it at the station. So yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you do need on that day, if you're having a bad day and you need any further assistance, just let them know you've already got it. They'll update it to make sure that the guard's aware to help you. Say you need assistance getting off the train at Axminster, the guard can give you that assistance because they'll be aware of it, so they can update the booking for you if you need more assistance than you're expecting on the day.
Okay, that's really handy to know. Thank you very much for that.
So yeah, not a problem at all. So yeah, it's booked in till 17th of July, leaving Waterloo at 20:20, arriving at 23:03 to Axminster.
That's brilliant. I really appreciate your help with that. Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. Yeah, it's all booked in. You'll get the confirmation email through shortly just to say that that's booked in. Did you want the reference at all? It will be on the email.
No, that's okay. I can check it in the email.
Okay, no problem at all. Is there anything else I can help you this evening at all?
No, that's everything. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem at all. Thanks for calling. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And that's it. In just over 5 minutes, we were able to put in our assistance request. I mentioned that I was using a heated nebulizer, a medical device, and that it's for a cannabis-based prescribed medicine, and the reason for putting in the passenger assistance request. And as you heard, they were very happy with that, and yeah, that's all been processed now. And as you can see here now, I've got this confirmation email from Passenger Assist with my booking confirmation, journey summary, use of heated nebulizer for medical cannabis. So yeah, I just think that's really impressive service, to be honest. Such a quick turnaround to be able to use. Just to have that confirmation that you can use your medical device, I think is really important for many patients, because like I said, there is a lot of stigma around the use of cannabis and a lack of awareness, so stuff like this really helps. Now, it is worth noting that policies do vary from railway provider to railway provider. Great Western Railway, for example, say there is a high level of variability, so it's difficult to give a blanket policy that accepts every circumstances. There's many medical devices that people travel with, such as monitors and oxygen tanks and so forth, and they will advise customers on an individual basis in these circumstances. And so they can't have a blanket policy for dry herb vaporizers or heated nebulizers because of the wide variety of devices out there, and you might not even be using it for medical purposes potentially. So as an example, I know for certain you wouldn't be able to use a Dynavac with a blowtorch on a train. That's a big no. This, however, is a medically approved device, so they can't really say no to that. It's gone through very stringent tests to be certified, so again, it does vary again on the device, but still put in an assistance request, because that way they can make any adjustments that are required dependent on the device you have and your own individual circumstances. Another rail provider has stated they don't have any specific policy or restriction regarding the use of nebulizers or medical devices generally, so as long as they're in good working order and used for their intended purpose, then they wouldn't prevent anyone from using this equipment or boarding their services. And they even go on to state that not all trains have plug-in sockets on their services, so they actually go into detail around which trains do have plug sockets in case you needed one. So if you needed to use your Volcano on a train, then yeah, it's not a no, it's certainly possible. And we do recognise there is a lot of inconsistency across operators. PatientsCann have started to work with accessibility teams by attending accessibility conferences and reaching out to them directly, and we will continue to work across the industry to ensure a consistent, accessible approach for all patients. So many thanks for watching. Please check out our website and socials for more information, resources, education and content, and I look forward to seeing you in another accessible travel guide. Thank you. Hi there. I'm not sure if you're the right person to speak to, but I've put in a passenger assistance request and I've been told to make myself known to rail staff when I arrive.
Okay, that's me.
Oh, cool.
So what assistance do you need?
Well, I have a medical device called a heated nebulizer I use it for a cannabis-based medicine. The main reason I put in the assistance request is just so people are aware, because it's not a very common medicine and most people might think it's an illegal drug. So.
Okay.
I don't really need any kind of assistance onto the train or anything
Alright,
like
yeah.
that. But...
Would probably be best then speaking to the train crew on the train when they come through the train.
Okay, cool.
If people see said device and they might have suspicions around that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, the train crew aware.
Cool, will do. Nice one.
Alright, so yeah, you'll train in like 10 minutes.
Alright, cool.
Alright,
I'll speak to the train staff then.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Hi there, alright. Just to let you know, I put in a passenger assistance request because I have a medical device here. It's called a heated nebulizer. I use it for cannabis-based medicine though, so I thought it's best to give you a heads up in case it's something
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, cool. So I just like to give you a heads up. Nice one.